so changing belts on an ATV mower, please ignore this bar, it's still in its crate. So what I've done, I've loosened all 4 of these bolts that hold the actual motor down. So that one I've loosened a fair bit more. That is just basically finger loose, so the bolts spin. And then the same with this one, finger spin on that one, and then a fair bit of slack on that. That just gives the motor a little bit of play, so to speak, above the line. So the very first thing you're going to do, basically, new belts, you're going to actually fit the belts themselves. So personally, I always sit them on top, underneath, and just spin it around. Watch your fingers, make sure your fingers aren't going to get grabbed by a belt. And same thing in reverse, push on the belt. If you loosen off, you should see it just start to lock in like that on the next pulley, and then just let it round. This is why we've loosened those motor bolts off. It just gives it that little bit more movement. It's just purely, just watch your fingers. So that's the inner belt on, and then same thing with the top one, the outer belt. So sit it on top, just run him in, and spin him all by hand, and there's your belts on. Now this motor is actually all the way over this way, so you'll see your pulleys are not in line there. So this one is sticking out a lot more this way than that. So again, while the motor bolts are loose, you're just going to give it a bit of a wiggle over really. And that is how you actually line these belts up, so that way. So what I would do there is just make over a little bit more. It's kind of just do it by eye. You can do it what I would call the cheat way and use a laser level and line it up with the edge of the pulleys, but that pulley is slightly wider, so if you have the light shining past that one, you just want it pretty much just on the edge of that one. So once he is all on like that, from this point I would actually get your tensioner back in. So I've just taken him out just to make it easier, so put him back on there, he just pulls through. It's a bit of a cack-handed way of doing it, but then just slide him on. So it's a 16 mil nuts, so I just nip him up. So again, so now what I would do there is I would just tighten up the furthest bolts, so the ones that are flopped. You see they're not flopping about now because the motor has pulled all the way over. So I'm just going to tighten them up again, so they're basically the same sort of tension as that. So you still got a little bit of wiggle room, it's just pulled the belts straight. That's wrong. It's a bit easier when you're not having to fight a crate. It's similar, not quite there yet. Same with this one. So you're just seeing it's just starting to pull it down. That's what you're looking for roughly. So then, again, now that it's like that, I'm just going to use a hammer. Just push the weight off of the tensioner. Push him all the way back, let the belts get free, and let it back on. And again, so now it's a case of another look. So I'm further in at the front compared to the back. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to literally, you want to ideally a rubber hammer for this, and just give it a just check it again. If you've got a good eye, you can just about line your eye up with that edge of that pulley, and you can sort of see where in line you are. I'm actually in a bit more there, so it's a case of trying to wiggle it out a little bit. So this is why you leave it all loose enough, that way you can just line up. Again, you've got to be careful with all the plastics and all such, because they will break if given the chance. So again, once you're there, again, let the weight off your pulley. So push your pulley intentionally back. And take any tension off the belts. So if they're not fitting perfectly straight, it'll twist everything out. Tiny bit more, and I'm happy with that then. So that's a bit more than I intended. Right. So, personally, I'm actually quite happy with that. So pulleys are all what I would call lined up now. So now it's a case of just tightening down the motor again with all these 4 bolts. So you want to do them completely up now. Going the right way will help. And again, they want to be quite tight. Not massive tight, but get a decent bit of lean on them. So again, what you might see there is it might not look straight. It might not be. Again, they might not always pull out a line. But again, so I've got the back 2 done. So I'll just have another quick check. They've actually tensioned up now. So again, they look good. So again, I'll do the front one as well. 6, something up top. So I'm trying to undo it. Again, case of watch your hands if you're on anything, because some of these edges are sharp. Alright, okay. Have a good look down. It should look level. To me that looks level. I'm going to say I'm happy with that. It is purely by eye. I'm doing it. So again, what are you looking for? You might think the belts are a little out of line. Just give them a bit of a turn. Ideally, at least a full cycle. That just equalises the belts then, so you get belts anywhere. So as you put them on, they might not equalise, so to speak. They might grip on parts of it. So again, they're level now. So it's just a case of doing it up to the desired tension. So I've actually left this pretty much where it came in the crate. So 2/16s. I've only got the one on me at the moment, so trying to do this. So what you can do is just put some rope. Yeah. And it's a case of putting your guard back on. You won't have this issue because you haven't got a crate on, of course. The guard just pretty much drifts up. What you might see if you come on this side. So what you might see is it might not just feel like it's going on. So we're just going to lift it up. Well, get it roughly in line, and then you need to twist it anti-clockwise and push, and it'll slide on. And it's getting the bolts. Nip them up. Again, they don't need to be mega tight, and then it will be a case of starting it, letting it run up, just making sure that your belts don't touch your guard anywhere. You'll either hear it or you will smell it, and as long as that's happened, then you're good to go. That's it.